I'm Carey Carlson. Thanks for being here. Coming back, we've got some more live music. Brian Wood, the Troubadads. Actually, one of the Troubadads is here. Donna Nahajewski, along with Brian Wood. We'll come back and do some more live toast and jam here at Alice's Restaurant. Trump brought to you in part by Phillips Restaurant. Carey Carlson along with you live from Greenfield Village this morning as things come to life. We have Brian Wood and Donna Nahajewski with us from the Troubadads, and apparently we're inducting another honorary Trouba Papa into the fold here today.
We are delighted to have the director of the Greenfield Village, the honorary mayor here, Christian Overland, to be an honorary Troubadad, and we're honored to have him be the distinguished voice in this next song.
Very good. Now, Brian, I just know how you are with songs. I've seen you write a song at nearly the drop of a hat. And don't drop your hat, though. Not this morning. You've got to keep it on. A little chill this morning. And this one that you're going to do for us now, how did this come to be?
Well, it was inspired by the movie Saving Private Ryan. I had recently watched it. And the story underlining in this is that when soldiers die at war, they are notified at home by two soldiers that come to the door with the sad information. And I had tears in my eyes after watching this movie, and I just sat down and this came out.
Now, you said you wrote this about 2 weeks before September 11th, yet it sounds like it could have been written about that.
Yeah, I'm sure there was thousands of families that could understand the feeling of finding out that just as a sudden notice that a loved one is gone. And that's pretty much what I was feeling when I wrote the song.
After watching Private Ryan. Well, let's hear that now from Brian and Al.
This song starts with a letter of consolation, which Christian will read for us right now.
Maybe we should let the train go by before you get started.
It adds to the effect, doesn't it?
It's neat. The geese were flying by. I don't even have to use my geese back at the studio that I have flying by. He's going to do one more.
Cue the train.
Cue the train. All right. Shall we?
Dear Madam, I've been shown in the files of the War Department a statement of the Adjutant General of Massachusetts that you are the mother of 5 sons who died gloriously on the field of battle. I feel how weak and fruitless must be any words of mine which attempt to beguile you from the grief of the loss so overwhelming. But I cannot refrain from tendering to you the consolation that may be found in the thanks of the Republic they died to save. I pray that our Heavenly Father may assuage you the anguish of your bereavement and leave you only the cherished memory of the loved one and lost, and the solemn pride that must be yours to have laid so costly a sacrifice upon the altar of freedom. Yours very sincerely and respectfully, Abraham Lincoln. I used to take for granted this easy life I've lived, what I didn't know I couldn't feel. And then I saw this movie about the Second War and realized for many it was real. I know my heart's been broken, but not in such a way as worried mothers wait upon the day. Soldiers at the door, she crumbled to the floor. She didn't have to hear what they would say. Well, I'm sorry was all that was heard. She could read the rest in their eyes. I'm sorry, she said through the tears. It's a sorry world, a sorry world. The whole world is sorry when a loved one dies. I'm sorry was all that she heard. She could read the rest in their eyes. I'm sorry
She said through the tears, it's a sorry world, a sorry world. The whole world is sorry when a loved one dies. And after darkness falls, she thinks beyond the stars and knows that there will one day be a time. She sings his favorite song, they used to sing along. She holds him in her heart and in her mind. She holds him in her heart and in her mind. I used to take for granted this easy life I live.
Oh, Brian, that was wonderful. Very nice.
Thank you.
Brian Wood and Al Nahajewski. A Mother's Lament, you call that?
Mother's Lament.
And Christian Overland, very nice with the President Lincoln letter there. Very, very nice. Yeah, absolutely. Now, you told me after you wrote this song, Brian, that you spoke to your mom, who I know. Hi, Mrs. Wood.
Yes.
You were telling her about writing this song, and then she told you a bit of a story.
Yeah, she had a story for me after I had written it, and she had lost one of her older brothers in World War II, 1945, somewhere in there. And like the story, a couple soldiers came to the door, and she happened to be the only one home, a 16-year-old girl at the time. And they, unfortunately, had to leave the message with her, who then in turn, when her parents came home later that day, she had to tell them the sad, sad news.
And you hadn't heard this story about your family up until then?
No, I didn't know about it till afterwards, so it kind of sent a chill down my spine.
There's a little song in you that had to come out, huh?
Yeah, as if I knew about it,
but
didn't realize I knew
consciously.
about it.
Huh. Awesome. Brian Wood and the Troubadads, actually. Brian and a Troubadad and an honorary Troubapapa with us here this morning, live from Greenfield Village. Let's get this 9 o'clock hour rolling, shall we?